Over the past couple of weeks, there's been a lot of speculation about potential delays to GTA 6. First, there was this Kotaku article which cited Rockstar insiders as effectively saying that it could be delayed, and it could be delayed until as far as 2026. Then Insider Gaming chimed in, saying that everything's on schedule and that any suggestion of delay is pure conjecture. Now, I wanted to give the final say on this to Jason Schreier of Bloomberg, who, as you probably know, is probably the most well-connected gaming journalist, especially when it comes to Rockstar, and he's probably the most trusted source on anything to do with GTA 6. He's written in his Game On newsletter about these rumours of delays. The headline being, Grand Theft Auto 6 delay report spurs overblown concern. Now, he says a few things. He says, in reality, video games are always behind schedule and risk getting delayed at any time, especially when they're as ambitious and under as much pressure as the next Grand Theft Auto. And there's so much time between now and the end of 2025 that even if the production was somehow going perfectly, it would be impossible for anyone to state definitively that the game will be ready in 21 months. And he also talks about Rockstar employees being forced to come back to the office 5 days a week. And he mentions morale at Rockstar taking a hit because of this policy. And I think what he's maybe suggesting here is that these Rockstar employees that seem to be leaking information might not have the whole truth and might sort of have a bit of an axe to grind and might be acting out because they're being forced to return to the office. I don't know, I may be misreading this, but I think that's kind of the suggestion here, and totally a fair point to make. I think Rockstar Take-Two is a huge company, and I mean, really, who out of those people, how many know the specifics of GTA 6? People probably know bits and pieces. There's probably a lot of NDAs involved, but really, are people kind of speculating or letting their feelings get in the way of what's actually happening? I don't know. We don't know as I said in my previous video, we don't know the kind of quality of the sources used. They may be very kind of low down the chain and are just completely speculating about rumors they've heard, the stuff that people talk about in their lunch breaks and so on. He talks about, of course, there's a possibility that Grand Theft Auto 6 will slip out of 2025. Rockstar's previous game, Red Dead Redemption 2, was originally announced for the release in 2017 and was delayed twice before it landed in October 2018. The new GTA is already arriving later than anyone at Rockstar could have anticipated a decade ago when they first started conceiving it. And yeah, I mean, this is the point I made in the previous video, and I think everyone, recognizes that all Rockstar games seem to get delayed, and so the idea that GTA 6 would be delayed isn't that far-fetched. This is an interesting thing he points out. He says, game development is a messy, non-linear process beset by the biggest challenges of both technology and art. A game must function as expected and at the same time must be beautiful, interesting and fun. Thousands of people are working on GTA 6, many in their own silos where they're writing code for weather physics or recording actor performances or hunting for bugs on the streets of fake Miami. Their jobs are all intertwined and dependent on one another, and a single bottleneck, such as a level layout taking longer than anticipated or script pages arriving late, can have cascading effects across every discipline, snowballing over time. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I was saying before. What if one area gets held up? It doesn't matter that other areas are ahead of schedule, because this is all separate little pieces working towards the same goal. And I mean, we already know it's going to be more than 10 years in between GTA 5 and GTA 6. But in that time, we've had some challenges. We've had the pandemic, which probably had a pretty severe impact, I'd imagine, on this game, although obviously developers could work from home. And also worth pointing out that just last year, we had the actors' strike in Hollywood, which potentially, I don't know for sure, may have impacted in terms of motion capture. Jason Schreier continues, ironically, the new remote work policy may itself slow down the schedule. He says there are rumblings across Rockstar that the unpopular move might lead to attrition and complicated logistical hurdles as staff try to coordinate with colleagues in other time zones without the benefit of virtual access. Losing key staff due to this policy could, of course, lead to delays. Yep, totally possible. But he ends with, but for now, there's no indication that anything significant has changed. Even the original report is soft and full of caveats, which didn't stop it from having a huge impact. He's referring there to the Rockstar share price going down. And he ends finally with this, which I thought was quite telling. Last summer, I asked someone at Rockstar how things were going, and they responded with one word: chaos. This week, I asked a few other people at the company what they made of the rumour mill, and was mostly met with shrugs. Of course, development of the next GTA is falling behind. It always is. So I think this is a very sensible take, and kind of, it's kind of quelling a bit of hype and speculation and trying to calm everyone down a bit. He's essentially saying that it might be delayed, but we don't know at this point. It's too early to say. And, he also points out that there was always the possibility of it being delayed. And I think, we all knew that. That won't come as a surprise to anyone. But, as he says, it's too early to say whether GTA 6 will be delayed. But I think with the next Take-Two investors call coming up in May next month, we may have an indication of whether GTA 6 will be released in early 2025.